everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we're in my dining room here where my flowers are over here because it's Tuesday and it's my plant update Tuesday. So first we have my sick orchid right here. This guy is starting to make a comeback, which I'm really happy about. It's like the leaves are starting to get stiff again. They're staying up like this, which is a really good thing. And the root's still here, so that's good. And I think it's trying to grow some more roots, which is really good. So what I'm going to do, that's what I do every morning, is I get up here and I water this guy. So I'm going to go over here. I'll turn the camera so you can see me. Right over here. I'm going to water my little orchid. So what I do is I water the air root and around the rest of the roots, and then I just put it back in its little container right here, like that. So next is the poinsettia. I'm pretty sure this guy's dead. There's no new growths anywhere, so yeah, it just broke like that. Yeah, both flimsy too. So I'm just gonna say this guy's dead because the limbs shouldn't fall off that easily. It's like very little pressure. So it's supposed to take like a month to come back, but it doesn't look like it's going to come back. Let me turn the light on so you can see a little better here. I'm trying to see if that's like a bright green or like a dead green. It's dead. So what I'm going to do is going to move the camera again over toward that garbage can right there. And I'm just going to toss it because it's dead. Okay, so I'm going to move back to the orchids here. This orchid, as you can see, I had to cut this one way back because it was damaged that far back. This one not so much, and they're looking good. I suspected it of root rot, so what I did is I repotted it. I put the holes in, as you can see, and I'm trying to bring it back to life, which is coming. It's coming away. Poinsettia orchids don't like to stand straight up. They lean to the side, so just let them do it. So what I do with this one also, but as you can see right here, I have a root coming in. I'm really happy about that. So I have a couple of roots coming in. I have this big aerial root right here, and yeah, the leaves feel they feel leathery, but that's how you know it's dying and you need to feed it. So, like again, like I did with this guy, I'm going to just spray where the roots are, like that. And since it's going to be in the sun, I'm not really worried about spraying the leaves because the sun will help that. So I just put it right there, right in the sun, right there. But I'm glad to tell you guys that I got another orchid. I got this one because it was only $10, which is a good deal in my opinion. I checked the roots. The roots look pretty good. I have another root coming right there. But the thing I'm really happy about on this orchid, it's damaged right here. This is supposed to be up, but it's damaged. But right here, don't know if you can see that, right there is a flower spike. I got a flower spike there. I got a few more on here. I need to find them. I have a few more flower spikes. So that's like really good news for me. I have flower spikes. See, I think there's one growing right there. I'm trying to see if I have any more flower spikes. I'm pretty sure I have like a couple more, or I thought I did. So yeah. Yep, I got one right there. I don't know if you can see it right there. So yeah, I have flower spikes coming on this one. I'm scared to cut this one, but I probably should because it's like so freaking damaged right now, dude. It's so damaged. This little one right here, it's so damaged. So what I should probably do is cut it. So that's what I'm gonna do, right in front of you guys. So what you need to do, this is what I've been told by the person I go to for all my orchid advice, even though it has a flower spike right there. It's like, it's pretty much gone anyhow. So what you need to do is you need to get some scissors or whatever you cut your flowers with. Any of those will work. So what I do is, I was told you either dip them in alcohol or use a flame. I do both, just to be safe. So now I'm going to go get the rubbing alcohol. I have to find it first. Ah, there it is. Here's my rubbing alcohol, just regular store brand. So what I do is I get a cup, like that, measuring cup, whatever cup you can find really. So I'm just going to set it right there. You guys can't see that. I'm going to bring the camera down so you can see my little cup and you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Then I just open this like that and I just pour a little bit in, not too much. Like just enough to soak the blades. It's pretty much what you want. So then I take my shears here and I just tilt it so all the rubbing alcohol gets on the shears completely where I want it. Like that. Ooh, and you can smell it too. So just leave it for a few seconds. Drip it off. And then while it's in there soaking, I'm going to get my lighter. Get my lighter, which I keep like right by the table because I do candles over there. So what I do is I let it drip out. Do that a few times so you see it not dripping so much. And then I light it. Just go down very slowly like that. And then I do the same with the other side. Just go slowly all the way down. I mean, I got this side. Like that. I do like that. And then I take the orchid and I look where I'm supposed to cut. So next, what I do is I look at it and I can see right here that's already bent right there. So I'm just going to cut right there. I just cut right where it's been bent, like that. It comes up nice. You could keep these and do with them what you like. I might set these out for a while until they start dying on me, which is probably going to be in the next few weeks. But I'm going to do a little experiment. As Cody's looking as balls. What I'm going to do is, since this dish is empty anyhow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some water in it. As you can see, I have like a little dust there. It's fine. It's just baking soda and sugar. For the bugs. Because we have bugs. Especially if you have bugs around. And it's been killing them, so I like that. I'll just fill this with water. And I'll just dip these in there. And let them sit there for a few days. I don't know what that's going to do. It's going to be my experiment. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit these up here. Yeah, if you want to get rid of bugs, use just baking soda and sugar, mix it together and place it in spaces. I have it up here by my flowers. I have it down here by Koji's water and under Koji's food bowl because bugs go to food and water. So that's why. So I'm just going to fill this up just a little bit with water here. Just rinsing it out first and then just a little bit of water. And as you can see, I did not put that much in there. I didn't want to soak the flour, for heaven's sakes. So I'm just going to put it right where my poinsettia was. Just set it down right there. And I'm just going to have this sticking out. Like that. That's all I'm going to do. So now what I'm going to do with my newest poinsettia is I'm going to take it out of this little clay pot here. Somehow. These can be little stickers when they have the flowers on them. Okay, so now what I do, as you can see the roots look really good. They're like a bright green. That's a good sign. You want them to look bright green like that. And I have an aerial root. Don't stuff those in when you repot them. Don't do it. Don't, because if they're aerial roots, don't force them into the pot. Just let them fly out. It's fine. It looks like some people would like try to stuff them in there. Just don't do that. See, this looks dead right here. Feels dead. Yeah, it feels dead and mushy. So I think I'm going to cut that too. Just feeling, if it feels mushy, they're dead. There's no point to keeping dead roots. So I'm going to take my shears, which I already sewed. I'm just going to cut right here where it's mushy. And I'm going to find the other spot where it's mushy, so I cut there too. I'm just feeling this one. That one feels fine. So I'm just, yeah, it's mushy right there too. So that's where I'm going to cut it, right there. Oh, and it fell. Like that. It fell off. I'll pick it up later. That's how you do it when you pot it, when you're doing the roots. You just take them out, water them a little bit, gets all the old stuff off of it. Like if you have like this, you should put like bark chips and moss in there. You just take it out, rinse it off, and then you feel the roots like that. And if they feel firm, like this one does, it's a healthy root. If they feel mushy, like I just showed you, it's a dead root, and you want to just cut that off. I can see they were trying to bury the aerial roots, which you're not supposed to do. Let the aerial roots be in the air. That's what they're there for. That's why I'm not going to worry about this one hanging out like that. It's totally fine. But these are still firm, which is a good thing. If your leaves are firm, like mine, it's a healthy orchid. If they're falling over, like you see in my past two, it means they're sick. And you need to do an intervention. Which is what I had to do with my little one. Yeah, with this one, I had to cut both stems off, even though they had flowers on them. Like I did with this one. I had to. It was falling over. It was pretty much gone anyway. So that's it for that one. That one doesn't need any watering whatsoever. So I'm just put it back in the sun like that. With this one, like I said, I'm just going to put it in the water. Let it just sit in the water for a few days. See what happens. I don't know. Maybe it'll start growing. Maybe it'll die. I don't know. So I'm just going to let it sit in the water all day. I'll take the water out at night because it's not supposed to be watered at night. And then I'll just keep repeating that process. I'm trying to find like the right way to have it sit in the water. Is there a right way to have it sit in the water? I don't know. This is the first time I'm doing this, so I have no idea. I'm looking at the stem actually, and it looks like it's getting water that way. So, just gonna let it sit like that. You can't see them, but just gonna have it sit in the edge of the water like that. Like I said, you can just like clip the flowers off and put like a band and a hair thing or something until they die. Then you have to toss them because it's not good. So, yeah, I'm just gonna leave them like that all day. I'm gonna take it out at night. I'm gonna take the water out at night, and then I'll give them fresh water every day. This time, like 6, 7 in the morning, because I'm up this late anyhow. And we'll see what happens. So I don't really have any tips this week. I showed you how to cut your orchids. If you ever have a question about that. I told you what to look for in a healthy orchid, in a sick orchid, and if you have a sick orchid, what to do. If you have a sick orchid, like with my two, you take it out of the pot immediately. Because if it's not growing any roots, it's not growing any flowers, and the leaves are falling over, like this guy right here, the leaves are falling over and they're leathery texture, your orchid is sick. And what you need to do is you take it out of the old, whatever it was in before, like mine's in bark chips. You would take it out of this, you would rinse off the roots on the orchid, and then you would feel the roots like I showed you on this one. You would feel the roots for any mushiness. If you feel mushiness, it means it's a dead root. If you feel firmness like this, it means it's a healthy root. So what you want to do is take all of this out. You rinse it out, you feel the roots, you cut the roots that are mushy. Mushy roots, dead roots. You want to get rid of those. So that's what you do. You just clip those off like I showed you, and how you get your little shears clean. You just use rubbing alcohol or a flame, or like I did, use both. I use both, just to be safe. And then after you have done all that, what you do, you should put a little bit of bark chips or whatever that you want to use. For my orchids, I just use bark chips because that's the safest. It's the safest bet right there, and it's all I could find at the grocery store. So you put like a little layer of bark chips at the bottom of the dish, and then you just place the orchid in the dish, and then you just put the bark chips around the orchid and just tap it on the side to get it down. It's going to take some time when you do that, but it's totally worth it. Again, don't force any roots that are aerial roots inside the pot. They're already outside. They might as well stay out there. And if you have root rot, like mine does, what you're supposed to do, as you can see, I have this guy tied to the pole here. You just tie him to the pole with whatever you can get, basically. I just use like a little tiny thing you use for bread. That's what I use. And then every morning, has to be during the day, you spray all the roots. Like if you have an area root, like mine, thankfully, you just spray that. I was told it will take a couple years until it starts coming back. But I'm dedicated to this orchid. This was my first orchid, so I'm very dedicated to it. You just do that every day until it starts growing some roots, and then it'll start growing some leaves, and then it'll start growing some stems, and then flowers. The roots are the first. It can't grow any leaves, stems, or flowers until it has its root system. As promised last week, I did find some crown rot videos that Miss Orchid Girl did. I'll have them in the description below so you can check them out for yourself if you want to know how to get rid of crown rot, or if your orchid has crown rot, what you can do about it. But root rot is very simple to take care of. I've done it twice right now. I did it to this orchid, I did it to this orchid. It's just getting rid of the old dead roots and just spraying it with water every day until it starts coming back for you. With this one, I still have some leaves that are good. Another thing I found out is if you have leaves, and if you don't, you can see this, but it's turning like an orangey color on the tip. But if your whole leaf, like from here over, is like that, you cut that part of the leaf off. You don't cut the green part of the leaf, just the orangey coloring of the leaf, which mine is not there yet, so I'm not worried about that. And I'm watering it every day and hoping it comes back. Another thing, if you have orchids, is you're supposed to repot it once every 2 years, which is awesome for me, because I don't like doing this too much, so that's good for me. So next week we'll see how this experiment is going. I don't know how it's going to go. I really don't. I don't know if it'll grow roots or if it will die on me. I don't know, but we'll see. So I'm hoping this works. This is already drying up already. I didn't put that much water in it, so I'm probably, we'll see. I'll just keep putting water in it until nightfall, and then I'll take the water out. I'll still let it sit in the dish, but I'll take the water out and we'll see what happens. Another thing, always keep these sticks that comes with your orchid, because when it blooms again like this guy does, you want these. So you keep those. And another thing I would suggest buying are these little bitty hair clips. These little bitty hair clips. I got these when I got my second orchid. because it was better than when I bought my first one, because the first one had like twist ties on it and I think it was hurting the orchid. But these are much better and easier. Just clip them on. So easy to do. And when you have to take them off, they're so easy to take off and you can reuse them many times over. That's why I like them. So if you're going to get an orchid, make sure you know what kind of water to use. If you have to use like distilled water, if you're getting bottled water like I do, which I have to get some this week, get distilled water to help it. Know when to fertilize your orchids. I believe it's when it's blooming season, and that's when you should fertilize, I believe. That's what I've been told, so that's what I'm doing. Know when to water your orchids. You water them first thing when you get up in the morning. It's a routine for me. I get up, I take Koji out, I come over here and I water my plants every morning. It's like a routine, so it's something I do every day. I'm trying to think of other little things that you can do if you want to buy an orchid. If you want to buy an orchid, the thing I made a mistake with is I did this one too early. Wait till the flowers fall off, and then cut the flower stems back if you want to. Totally up to you. My flower's it's not telling me it's dying yet, so which is a good thing, but if it was dying, I would do this immediately. But repot it and then set a reminder on your calendar in 2 years to do it again. This is what I do. You can take these clips off if you want to, but I just leave them on there because it looks pretty that way. Because what orchids do in nature, they are sideways on the trees. They grow on trees and they're sideways. That's why if it rains, it doesn't go in the crown like we have it here. It's sideways so the water drains out. A few things I've learned. So you want to know what water to use, when to cut back your flowers. You can cut yours back as far as you want, unless it's an emergency. If your orchid's a healthy orchid, you can leave it like that if you want to. When the flowers are gone, just leave it at the same length and wait for the next bloom. But if you have to do orchid surgery, as I like to call it, when your roots are, when you're having root rot, what you want to do is you want to take it out immediately, repot it like I told you, and cut your stems back as far as you can so it can just focus on the root system. Because you don't want long stems when your orchid is trying to focus on its root system. If it doesn't have a good root system, it won't have good leaves, which will mean it won't have good stems, which means it won't have good flowers. It won't have any flowers, actually. So just if you want to leave your stems like this and it's a healthy orchid, that's fine. I'll probably cut mine back a few inches. If it's good, I might leave it. If not, I'll do something. I don't know. The flowers are still good. Phalaenopsis flowers will last a few months to a year sometimes. Mine have lasted about 4 to 6 months. When I buy them, they last that long. So what we'll do is we'll see what happens in the next few weeks. I have my experiment. I have 3 orchids now. I'm not going to buy any but probably to the end of the month again. When my next water bill is, whenever that is. I don't know. So right now I just have 3 orchids and my experiment. I don't know if this will produce roots. Don't know. But we're going to find out in the next few weeks. I just know I had to cut it back because it was already damaged, and it was like, I didn't even have to cut it that far. It was like halfway cut already, so I really didn't have to cut it that much. So I'm just going to leave it in here. They don't produce a smell, if you're okay with it. I just think they look pretty, and they're a good thing to have in your house. If you don't want real orchids, go online and buy a fake one. Same thing, but you have to take care of them as much. But I love taking care of these guys. This is like the highlight of my days when I come out here and I look at my beautiful plants and I take care of them. That's what I love to do right now. So that's going to be it for today's video. I'll leave the links for Crown Rot in the description below, all my social media, email list, and both of my blog links will be in the description below. Thank you so much for watching.